Hello everybody, hopefully you can hear me and this is all coming through. I believe we're live streaming. I just thought I'd just quickly do this very quick video here as I'm playing around with a new filter today. I've just plugged it in. It's by AJH Synth and it's the Sonic XV filter, and it's a diode ladder wave filter. It's pretty interesting. I've literally just plugged it in about half an hour ago, and what I'm doing, I'm A/B'ing it against this is the Sonic XV over here, and I'm A/B'ing it against the Tip Top Z2040. So this is basically for my bass voice. So I've got the Cwejman VCO6. You've probably seen me and heard me talk about that in my previous videos. That's what I use mainly for my bass synthesizer. And what I do, I run the outputs of this, various outputs from here, because you can run different waveforms at once, square waves and sine waves and stuff. And I take 3 of those and I mix them into a little mixer here in the 1U little tile. And I take the output of that and I just simply run that into the filter. And up until now I've been using this Z2040 by Tip Top. Really love this filter. I've been using it a long time, and the reason I love it is mainly because of the gain input, because you can distort it. Again, I've talked about this in my previous video, so I won't spend long talking about this aspect. But the little filters, the little mixer's cool because it allows me to essentially choose which waveforms are going into the filter. And I can combine them, and it's great for when playing live. I actually use this little overdrive here as well for one of the voices. So I believe this one here, yeah, which is a sawtooth, comes out and it runs through some overdrive and then it goes into one channel of the filter. So I've basically got it into the mixer. So I've got basically a sub sine wave, I've got the overdrived sawtooth, and then I've got another one here which is like a bit more complex waveform basically, and I can mix the 3 together, runs into the VCF, and then that goes out to my mixer. Happy days. What I've done is also I've multed that output just for now to send over to this new filter here, the Sonic XV by AJH. And I always do this if I get something new. I'm going to A/B it and see how it sounds, and I thought you'd be interested to hear the results of this because it's very, very different. I think I'm quite drawn to this one. This seems like a bit of a serious filter. It takes up quite a bit more HP than the 2040, but that's okay because I mean it's about sound at the end of the day, and it sounds absolutely fab. It's got, what's great about it is that it's also got 3 outputs, a bandpass, a 6 dB low pass, and a 24 dB low pass. And again, I take those 3 outputs, run them into another little tile over here, little mixer. So I've then got the bandpass, I've got the 6 dB, and I've got the 24 dB, and I can mix the outputs of those coming out of there. So that's really cool. So let's have a listen between the 2 as a little bit of a comparison to hear the sound. And I'll start with my original beast over here, which up until now I've really liked. So this is the Cwejman being sequenced by Ableton via the Hermod, and it sounds like this. So I'll just get this playing. Just got a very basic line going here. So like I say, on this little mixer over here, what I can do is I can go, I want more sort of subby sine wave, or I want more complex like square wave, or I want a distorted one, or combinations. cool little mixer. So they're going into the filter, controlled by the Quadra. So yeah, I love this filter, it's really cool. If you turn the gain down at 0 dB, it's not introducing any distortion there, but it will clip round to there. Sounds great. It maintains the low end really easily. It's always got that nice bit of low end in there. And even though it's overdriving, sometimes I find when you overdrive and distort stuff, you actually lose the low end. You're not getting that here, which is really great. And then it's got all that extra top end from the top harmonics. It responds nicely to the envelope. I'm not using a VCA here, I'm using the VCF essentially as my VCA. That's how I tend to do a lot of my modular here, basically. I don't use a separate VCA. So that's cool. So let's have a listen to this one, the Sonic XV, and see how that compares. So it's controlled by the same envelope. So I'll just take the V06 down and I'll bring up this one. So let's just introduce on the little mixer here. So let's hear the 24 dB. You can hear straight away it's got quite a different tone to the tip top. Let me just get the volumes about the same. I'll just switch between them. So that's the tip top. That's the Sonic XV. What's cool about the Sonic XV is like the tip top, which I'm using. What's cool is that it has an in level which you can drive, and I'm a big fan of driving sound into filters, as opposed to putting distortion or after a filter. If you drive a filter on the input, you can get quite different sounding, and it's usually got more of definition and more bite. So that's my preference. So you've got this. What you've also got though, which is really interesting, is a wave. It's kind of folding that you can apply to the input. So I can take this really nice sort of square wave sound already, and I can apply some wave folding to that. And I choose the kind of folding here and the amount of it here. It's really nice. You get so many different tones out of this. Without any, that's that's the original sound, and then you've got really lovely. It responds to the Quadra nicely, and you've got a frequency CV for that if you want a bit more subtlety. you start adding the outputs, all three outputs of these, into the mixer. So let's hear this green one here is the bandpass, which gives you that. Again, the wave foldings apply to that, the wave shaping. Wave shaping or wave folding. If we add to that the 24 dB output, that's really nice. Because what that gives you, I'll just turn that down a second. What that gives you by adding the bandpass and the 24 dB output low pass is you get the low pass filter, obviously, but you're getting the kind of grittiness and the definition from the bandpass added to it, and it sounds lovely. Very nice. See, without the bandpass, with the bandpass, just get that definition back. Let's add the 6 dB output from here with the 24 dB and with the bandpass. Play with wave shaping. Don't drive the input. And then there's actually a switch here as well for 3 different amounts of shaping that occurs. So you can go from kind of quite subtle through to a bit more through to loads. So let's listen to those. So that's subtle. That's subtle. That's a bit more. That's max. A bit resonance. Again, you can apply this kind of wave shaping folding to the resonance as well. Which is really cool. Let's just compare that if I bring in the Tip Top. So that's the Tip Top. In comparison, it doesn't sound as musical. Still sounds great. Top end, low end. Well, let's compare that to the Sonic XV. Just got so much more character. And of course you can, I mean that's the output side of things I'm playing with here with the mixer over here. Don't forget though, as I mentioned at the start of the video, over here I can choose which waveforms are gonna go into the filter. So let's have a listen now as we listen to all three outputs of the filter here. Let's have a listen now what it sounds like with just the square wave. It's nice. With the distorted overdrive one. And with some sub. Yeah. You can actually hear the wave shaping on this one more so because it's just a sine wave. You can hear that wave shaping. You can hear the distortion applied by the in drive. So let's add again. On the speakers in here at loud volumes, this is very rich, very musical, very nice. So yeah, I just wanted to share that with you really. Just a very, very quick video, just comparing those two filters for bass. What I've got to do now, of course, is figure out how I'm going to fit this into my case if the tip top's going out. I'm having a bit of a reshuffle anyway to bring back some of my kit that I'm going to use for playing live, because I've got a gig booked up already, which I'll be able to tell more about when I get more details on that. So yeah, I've got a bit of rejigging to do, so I think that's going to go in there. Of course, we're going to use our friends over at Modular Grid. Without them, I don't know how we'd be able to do half of this stuff. It's so good for planning. If you've got any questions or anything else, do ask. Leave a comment below, or you know, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Thanks for tuning in again. Nice one.